night that the tornado had hit Lake City, and I made an authorization immediately for state assistance and then signed a disaster proclamation this morning. I'm glad to be able to get here to Lake City this afternoon, and this is a phenomenal situation and nobody was seriously hurt. You had a couple hundred people here at the school for a special program last night, and everybody got to the basement or the locker room and nobody was hurt. I talked to a couple of seniors that were at the program and they're volunteering, helping clean up. It's unbelievable the way everybody's come together. We have a special saw team from the state that came in last night. They cut a lot of these trees, cut them up, and were able to get Main Street open and get Highway 175 open. But then there's just been a lot of other people, not only this community, but surrounding communities here in Calhoun County and neighboring counties, and just a lot of citizens that have pitched in. So it's really wonderful to see the kind of support and assistance that people are willing to give, and the great volunteer spirit here in rural Iowa.
What's the criteria for that disaster declaration?
Well, if there's a need for state assistance, in this case, it was pretty obvious there was a need for state assistance. Now, I don't know that we're going to meet the threshold to ask for a presidential designation, because it depends upon how much loss we have that's not covered by insurance. Fortunately, the school is well insured. They're insured by Employers Mutual, which is an Iowa company. So we're very optimistic that the insurance will cover the major loss they have. And we talked to a number of homeowners that also have insurance, but there are other things I'm sure that will, and the state will be providing assistance. Obviously, a lot of damage to power lines and a lot of trees and some homes that are severely damaged. That's one home was totally lost. I talked to the homeowners. They feel they've got adequate insurance, and obviously we want to make sure that the state provides all assistance we can. The Highway Patrol was here quickly. The SAW team has been a great help. The emergency management people tell us here, and there's been great coordination, and I just want to congratulate all the folks here in Lake City and Calhoun County and everybody else that's pitched in to help.
Governor Branstad, how are you looking at, will the students have to come back to finish out the last few days, and what are you looking at?
Well, that's Mike Sexton, who's the representative from this. As soon as I got here, brought to my attention they hadn't heard from the State Department of Education. So I got on the phone with Linda Fennell, who's our education assistant, and she got Brad Buck. Brad is back in touch with him already. He'll be working with the superintendent and the local school board here to determine, and obviously we want to be flexible. The community has a lot of problems. They're without electricity, and the school books and whatever are going to have to be packed up because of the damage from the rain after the tornado. So I'm hopeful they can all work it out. I don't know the details yet, but now we have the State Director of Education, Brad Buck, in touch with the local school district, and hopefully they can get this worked out quickly.
But it's a possibility that maybe the rest of the year will be forgiven?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to try to speak for the Department of Education, and they do have other sites, Rockwell City and elsewhere, for like the middle school and the grade school, but for the high school, that'll have to be determined, and the Department of Ed will work with the school district on that.
And what are you looking at for a timeline of getting power back up in the area?
Well, I think there's a whole lot of people here from Mid-America Energy and from the local RECs are all working together. My understanding, I think Rockwell City's already got most of its power back, and hopefully within a day we'll see power back here in Lake City as well. It's phenomenal how quickly they're moving, and there's a lot of people. We saw this from the air, and now we've had a chance to actually walk the neighborhood and see it on the ground. A tremendous amount of work from the power companies, but then also just volunteers that have pitched in to haul debris and everything else, clean the area up. Yeah, many volunteers are helping with homeowners to clean up their yards and neighborhood.
Governor, do we know if the sirens went off?
They sure did. And I talked to a number of the homeowners, and most of them were in their basements because they'd heard the sirens or they'd seen it on TV. The school I talked to a couple of the seniors that were here for the program for the awards event last night. They said they got adequate warning. Everybody got to the locker room or the basement, so they were safe. So the warning system worked, and it worked well, and that's a great thing. That isn't always the case, but certainly in this situation,